During the late 1800s, many immigrants started coming to the United States to escape many situations in their home countries. These immigrants were from European countries such as Poland, Ukraine, Slovakia, Italy, Turkey, and so many more. Situations like disease, war, hunger, wanting to be with family members who had already come to America, and for religion were all reasons that were bringing these immigrants over to the United States. Although all these reasons are different, they had a common desire in mind, and that was to make a better life for themselves and their families in America. Because of this large desire to come to America and the influx of immigrants, the Ellis Island Immigration Center was built in 1892. It cost $1.5 million and was built to bring in around 5,000 immigrants a day. Ellis Island was more than just a place for people to pass through as they were being brought into America. A very intricate process went into registering and checking out the incoming immigrants. So, what was this process? First, the process started with getting the immigrants off of the boats. Usually the journey to Ellis Island involved a very long and uncomfortable trip across the Atlantic Ocean. Once they were off the boat, they were given instructions to put any heavy luggage that they had in a certain area so they could go through the regular process and come back for it later. If this was not already hard enough, many immigrants did not speak English, so translators were available at many of the points throughout the process to make things go as smoothly as possible. Next, after they checked in their luggage, the immigrants were moved into a room called the metal pen. This was a room to gather a group of immigrants who were moving on to the next steps in the process. Although translators were there to help facilitate the explanation, many immigrants were very confused and did not fully understand what was going on. They were calmed as much as they could be and moved on to the next step, which was a quick medical exam. Every immigrant had to go through and pass a medical exam to be admitted into the country and go on to the next step. Since these exams had to be quick, doctors would mark the immigrants with certain chalk symbols that represented certain medical conditions and problems. If you passed the medical exam, you were sent to the registry room. This is a room where families or individuals coming into the country would be asked a series of questions. If they gave acceptable answers, these families or individuals were given what was called a landing card and sent off to get their luggage and other necessities to officially enter America. This place was called the kissing pot. This is where they could reclaim their luggage, exchange the money from their countries into American money, buy traveling tickets, and get lunch before they were sent into America. Sometimes this process did not go as smoothly as it could have. Sometimes papers were wrong or someone was very ill, and these things needed to be taken care of before they left Ellis Island. Since they had these problems, there was a dormitory room and a hospital room. The dormitories had many beds, a bathroom, and those who were staying there were given food. Although the hospital room was not meant for long-term stays, it could help take care of emergencies and other small health problems. Once the immigrants got their luggage, money, and everything else necessary to leave Ellis Island, they were off. The families were left to figure out what they wanted to do and where they wanted to go. They were not full citizens yet, though. They had time to find a place and get settled in America, and later on, they could take their citizenship test and become full citizens. 60 years later, the Ellis Island Immigration Center closed, and it is now a museum and national park, and is open to anyone who wants to take a tour and see the historic place that launched so many dreams.